Hey everybody, how's it going? So 112 people entered this 5K freeze out. Freeze out meaning one entry. So who knows? Who knows how long we'll make it? And there's a 500 that just started. So I guess I'll just hop in. So easy call here. I mean, you can 4-bet, but I think just call is the play. Checking range on this flop. Not a great flop for my hand. Not a fantastic flop for my range. I'm going to have more of the low pocket pairs than he's going to have. He's going to have a lot of high cards. Even his, quote unquote 3-bet bluffs are going to be, king, jack, king, queen. He's going small enough that I'm not going to fold ace, queen just yet. And I don't really want to be raising. I feel like I could raise this hand like with an ace of diamonds sometime. I don't know. But not this one. Did not spike my straight on the turn. And have nothing on the river. So how low are we in our range? Jack 9 suited, queen jack, queen 9 suited. All of those only suited. We're pretty low on our range. Ace jack. We're very low on our range actually. But do I want to bluff? I think probably. If you don't bluff with this, it's just like, oh, nice play. Checking back king, king. It's just hard to bluff enough, basically, because my only, so I have tons of like 10, 10, 8, 8, king 10, king jack, king queen, ace king, probably not, maybe. But it's just really tough to find enough bluffs. Like I said, queen jack suited, jack 9 suited, queen 9 suited, ace jack offsuit, call pre-flop, probably. I probably don't need to bluff all of my ace queen offsuits. I'm not really sure. But I'm just attempting to be roughly balanced in a spot where I don't have any strong reason to believe that he's going to be underfolding or overfolding. I'm not sure about that one, but it's got to be at least okay. Certainly, like if I'm not supposed to bluff all my ace queens, I should be bluffing ones with a diamond, which I did not have. King queen offsuit, weird one, against a raise and a call. It's obviously a decent 3-betting hand. I guess we'll do it. This is a bad flop for us because we're going to be up against a lot of not liking this flop, jack a deuce, because it just seems like he has a lot of pocket pairs, but a couple of tough hands going on. Do we want to c-bet turn? I think we don't want to c-bet turn. We're going to lose that pot unless he has sevens and decides not to bluff. Okay. Did not have a pocket pair. Ace queen offsuit. Just under 30 big blinds. We'll see if we can make something happen. And we have an interesting flop here. We have 4 times pot remaining. He's betting small, which he might do with his full range. I'm not raising yet. Don't really want to isolate myself. Like if I'm raising, he's just probably folding 8s if I make a big enough raise. Bad turn for me, given that he's going to have all the ace king and I'm not. I kind of don't think that he's got ace king. I don't think he has a big hand because I don't think he expects me to bet too often. What am I hoping he has though? I don't know. I think it's just too thin to start going for value. And against a small bet, we're going to call ace queen, not raise. Okay. The Life Shoe Aquatic says, thanks for making the first 2 hours of Espinolan's hand history review free. I'm now addicted and contributed to your bankroll today. Yeah, you're very welcome. So for those who don't know, Espen, who just won the World Series of Poker main event, he finaled the WSOP main event online last year, and he's coach at runotonce.com, and he made a series. Well, he's actually in the middle of a series. He didn't finish it, reviewing his play from last year's main event final table run, and we made the first 2 videos of that series free for everybody to celebrate him winning the main event. But yeah, you can probably find them on runonce.com and just pro videos, filter by Espen. Is this a shove with king, queen off? It really might be, but I'm just going to call. Should have shoved. Flop top pair. I don't want to play this. I guess we'll go with small bet. It feels like, no, I don't think it's thin. But I think big bet's too much. You run into better hands too often. If we do get shoved on, flushes make sense. Could she shove a straight? Yeah. Straights make sense. It all kind of makes sense. We're not going to see boats here very often at all. Flushes, straights. What are the bluffs going to be? Ace of spades with a queen, ace of spades with a jack. Queen 10 of diamonds. No, probably not. I just don't think we're going to see enough. But I think the bluffs are too hard to find, even though my pot odds are really good there. I really enjoy triple draw, limit triple draw, and pot limit triple draw. No limit single draw, I don't really like. I find it kind of slow and boring, and you don't see it spread by itself very often, only in mixed games. So I don't think no limit single draw is a game. Should be high up on your list of games to learn. I guess we'll put it that way. It depends why you want to learn, and what it means to you to be good at obscure games. But third pot bet with a pair. I guess I'm calling, but this guy's been pretty passive in the few pots we played, so I'm not excited. It's very tempting to just try to protect my hand, but I don't know if it's a good play. We'll try it. Just try to fold out his, bluffs, essentially, from the flop. And now we're going to check, and I guess we're probably going to lose, but maybe he has like ace deuce of hearts or something. Okay, now it just trips, yeah. So he's betting, it's the first hand he's bet in the 3 pots we played, I feel like, on the flop. And he had top pair. So it's worth noting. Not that I'm going to be around this tournament much longer. So why not? But I think those same skills that make you a great hand reader or great at adjusting to opponents, just strong critical thinking skills, those still matter very much in the post-solver era. Too curious. I'm going to open the heads up match and see how they're doing as I get all in, and looking pretty good so far. Not my river. So I'm out of the 5K bracelet event. I'm down to 1 table, so I'm really going to need some PLO action. I guess we'll open the other heads up match to keep an eye on it. I don't really know. Let's just call. Pretty good flop for me. I'm not going to raise this hand, just call. All right, put this. This hand could be a raise or a fold or a call. It could be anything. It could be anything I want it to be. It's a really interesting run out. So what I'm beating is like the ace-4 of spades type hands that he gave up with on the turn, of which there are a lot of. But maybe not that many. And I'm losing to a lot of stuff as well. So thing is, a lot of queen X bets the turn, but not like, I don't know. I want to call and see. Let's find out. Ace, ace. That makes sense. Yoshi asks, who's the best poker player you ever played with if you had to pick one? Probably. It's hard to say. It's harder to find best. So I'm actually going to go with Doyle Brunson because he, in his 80s, plays very well. Like in his 80s and well past his like prime poker playing days, plays it, like competes with the best and still can do it. And so in his prime against the players of 50 years ago, he must have been just like light years ahead of them. I just can't imagine how far ahead he was, and how much talent it takes to stay at his level at his age, when so many players who are even over the age of 45, who were doing well 15 years ago, can't compete at that level anymore. Doyle in his 80s is doing it. Whatever with his hand. Here with ace king, I guess I'll go for the bet. Obviously, I'm losing to ace queen and ace 10. I'm losing to king jack. I'm losing to boats, but still a value bet. Hey, there's a seat at 2550 PLO. I guess we're going to play because we're one tabling and it's slow. All right, so we got jacks. We're going to play. I don't know if I should raise or call. I think I'm going to raise. Pretty big when squeezing from the big blind. It's snap called a couple of times. And I really don't know. I kind of like check shoving to try to make the most out of pocket pairs and protect our hand. Like, I think sevens feel very tempted to protect their hand here. I kind of feel like a smaller raise now looks like shove doesn't look very bluffy, so let's just go with... you can't type in your bets here. It's kind of annoying. That amount. And just hope for the best. I mean, if he's got us beat, he's got us beat. Okay. PLO, we're playing a hand. Our first hand we're dealt, actually. We're playing in the big blind. Les Brown, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in and for chatting. We're going to check call here. Might not even need a raising range against under the gun 8-handed on this board. I'm not sure. It's kind of a dicey turn. I mean, I'm not going to fold yet, but it's not looking great. I'm dead against value, except for my jack of spades out. These are not good blockers to call with. I have plenty of like king 6 and ace king and that stuff. Obviously opening aces under the gun. Ace 10 offsuit, gonna fold. So aces with the nut flush draw would certainly be a bet on this flop. I think this still might be a bet. It's a nice hand to clear up equity with when I just have one pair. It's a little bit tough to be beat by one player both ways. So like stronger flush draw and stronger made hand. So I need to use, I mean, not all 4 cards necessarily, but I need to use a lot of cards. Now, had Tesla raised flop, I can go with it against him, but now I think multi-way is just a fold. Get a 3-bet. Going to be an easy call, and we will head to the flop. Mediocre flop. It's a pretty bad flop for his range. He's going to flop almost no sets or 2 pair on this board, and not a lot of straight draws either. So I'd actually expect him to check quite a bit. Easy defense on the right. He goes with half pot c-bet. I guess thinking that I, with this board reasonably often too, or maybe he has a hand that he really wants to bet. My hand's just an easy call. And we turn the literal best card in the deck that we could have turned. And we're going to get it in. Yeah, pretty standard all around. Ace 8, do we want to value bet? Maybe. Ace King 5-4 is a decent hand, but can't do it here. We got queens everywhere, so the PLO queens are just calling, but the no limit queens are raising. I think this actually number is fine. Get check too on ace 7-3, slightly surprising. I'm going to check this hand. Betting is very reasonable though. Maybe I even should bet this hand. Like having the outs with the 3, we're calling with queens here. We are behind pocket aces. That's quite unfortunate. And we're going to check queens here again. We're going to showdown, probably lose with our queens. Okay, ace jack 9-4. Relatively standard from him. And queens, I think is pretty dicey, but I'm going to call queen 5-4. And we get into a dicey spot right away on the flop because we're up against kings with spades or aces with spades. We're wrecked. But I don't think we get to fold. So sometimes he can have, you know, ace jack 10-9 and we're in great shape. So I don't think we get to fold, but this is not great. And the question is, do we get it in now or wait? I kind of feel like I'm crushed for some reason. I'm just going to get in now after tanking for 100 minutes. Okay, we're actually in very good shape, but we lose. Oh, no, we win. His play makes sense. I think I heard an extra beep. Yeah, I did. Okay, we got heads up PLO action. How do we want to do this? I guess we'll do it this way. Anyone know who Christ is Lord is? I mean, I know who Jesus Christ is, but Christ is Lord. Do you know who he is? Check back flop. Call turn. The heads up match has resumed. I'll just keep that off to the side for me. And then I'm got a bluff river. Really unhappy about it though. Because I just think I don't know why I think he's calling, but ace 9 blockers, bottom, absolute bottom of my range. That's just a very clear bluff. And pot is the sizing. I'm repping queen 9 and ace 9, or ace queen and ace 9. 8-8 deuce deuce. We're gonna 3-bet. Nope. Every time I say that, he limps. Okay, so he's limp folded. Has he limp folded twice now? This is a check. It's almost a bet, and it wouldn't be the worst bet. Turn gets a lot closer. I'm going to go ahead and bet the turn. It's kind of a value protection, good cards in my hand related to the board bet, and now we just show down despite having the ace of diamonds. He did not 3-bet king 10-9, so I mean, this is not like it's clearly not correct to not 3-bet that hand. And limp folding is not, I mean, it is a thing actually. Limp folding is not totally unreasonable, but a lot of players don't do it. I'm going to mark him as a non-pro for now. Obviously, he might be a pro in a different format. And obviously, you know, judging somebody off of one or two hands is not always the way to go, but you gotta, like, I think it's better to start with, you know, potential reads than to ignore all reads entirely. I'm gonna check call here. Oh, now we have the nuts. When he checks back turn, he's not going to have a lot of two pair on the turn, especially because like flop two pair are still good enough to bet. So I'm going to go for the check raise, hope he rivered ace deuce or finds a bluff. So the thought process there is based, I mean, obviously sometimes with the nuts you check raise river, but I think in this spot in particular, I like going for it more than most because like his value range on the flop is like queen five plus or whatever, stuff like that. And those are the hands I'm looking to get called by, but when he checks the turn, he doesn't have those so much anymore. So I need to hope that he rivered something, or I instead hope that he rivered something that can call me, and most of the hands that he rivers that can call me can bet themselves. Sevens. I have no clue. I guess am I gonna rip them in? No, I'm just gonna call. I don't know. I'm so bad at no limit tournaments. Not gonna fold sevens. Am I just gonna raise, get it in? I think I'm just gonna call. But I do struggle, like I end up being too passive in no limit tournaments. I know that. Here with sevens, I mean, I probably lose. I don't think I win. I'm gonna make a tight fold. Okay, good fold me. The other player had eights, so I lost to both of them. Queens. It's a weird, like, I'm actually just going to call again with queens. This time because, I mean, this time I'm hoping for action behind me. Seems like it's going to be hard to lose this no limit hold'em hand, although famous last words. I'm going to check back queens. Here with queens, I guess I'm going to half pot. This is weird. I don't really know. This is a weird spot. We'll raise here. Get snapped. Against queens, he had a 9 on the turn. Okay. Do we just... I don't think we jam. Gonna c-bet and obviously go with the eights. Not that I expect to get raised too often, but sometimes. There we go. I think just rip it in here. He's gonna have some worse hands for value, and I can just rip in like king 5 suited and stuff. Gonna check call with a gut shot. Wow, I had a big hand. And that's gonna be the end of me. Oh, we missed the re-entry period. All right, so no more tournaments. We're gonna update the title momentarily. I'm gonna raise anything decent. He's doing a lot of like, he hasn't limp re-raised, and he's doing a lot of limp calling and limp folding. So I think anything decent makes a good raise. Awkward spot on the turn. I'm gonna bluff. A very connected board, and like a limp calling range struggles to defend on that board, and I have, you know, the right amount of equity that like doesn't want to bet call but is happy to, or sorry, doesn't want to check call but can bluff. Good flop. Let's bet. Get check raised, easy call. Note that he did earlier check raise with a weak top pair, so the equivalent of like king jack here. Now he checks again. I guess we're going small bet again, or we thought about small bet last time. We didn't do it. This time we will small bet. This is maybe, uh-oh. This is not good. We're going to start by calling. So it's just interesting. I guess, like, is he really? Because last time if he's thinking about the last hand, I didn't bet the last time. So sometimes when people think back to a previous hand, they like want it to play out like it did last time. Man, I don't think he's. I have to hope that he's value betting the same hand or worse, and then potentially some random bluffs. I just am not ready to fold this without more reads against him. But that's what I usually see, I guess. Nice hand. I think maybe I could. What could I do differently? I mean, I can obviously fold river, but I'm not really supposed to. He just hasn't been very bluffy yet. He's been very straightforward so far. Here, this is kind of a weird spot and sizing. I mean, it's so cheap. I'm gonna pay it off and find out. But yeah, I do have to be a little more disciplined. We get the H&R. That's okay. Yeah, I have a feeling we're not going to find more action. So we might call it quits on the earlier side tonight, which is, you know, oh, we have 1,000 viewers now, which is more than we've had in a while. So it's kind of a bummer to potentially quit. How do we find? I mean, we can't really force action. We're sitting. Zepha says, sorry for hit and running, but I had a 5K stop win and 20K stop loss. 5,100 too big for me. Oh, well. All good. I appreciate the action. It was fun. Zepha, I'm glad that was the highest you've ever played. Then I'm glad you won. Well done. I don't recommend doing that again, but it is fun to take a shot, have a good stop loss and a stop win in mind, as long as it's within your means. All right, I think I just don't really, I mean, like, if I knew that I was going to maybe get some action, I would stick around, but I think there's no hope. So thank you all for tuning in today. No good runs, no heaters at high stakes PLO. I appreciate all the thoughtful questions and kind comments. And I don't know when the next time I'll be streaming is, but I look forward to seeing many of you again, whenever that is. Thanks for hanging out and thanks for watching. I signing off. I will see you next time, whenever that is. If not for a stream, then another video here on my YouTube channel.